Great. And you know what day it is? It is Wellness Wednesday, and it's all about, dear Camille, how you doing? I am super excited to have an amazing guest here today. And before I get to introducing who she is, I want to let you know where you are. You're in the Dear Camille Wellness Wednesday room, where we talk about everything from business to health to your overall wellness, your mind, body, and soul. It's truly about having open discussions about so many things that we really want to talk about, but we feel a little intimidated or may not feel like as if we are in or are worthy enough to be in that arena, I would say. But now it's all about canceling all of that out and really standing into our excellence by using our voice. And this is why I am super excited to bring to you today in the Dear Camille Corner. Let's talk about this entrepreneurship, moving from a 9 to 5 into entrepreneurship as a woman in business. Now, I have my dear friend, Miss Sheree, right here, coming to you just to have a great open conversation with myself about this transition. We both have went through it and are going through it, that transition of 9 to 5 to entrepreneurship. Now, I know everyone's probably wondering, like, first and foremost, put a one in the chat if you're wondering, what does 9 to 5 in entrepreneurship have to do with wellness? Put a one. Awesome. And while you're at it, drop a line on where you're located and where you're tuning in. We're all about finding out about all of us, and it's a great way for us to connect and collab, even in the comments. So make sure, even if you're looking at this on the replay, that you are engaging in the comments, because we make sure to come back and engage back. So the biggest part about 9 to 5 in entrepreneurship and wellness is that's where our business is. That's where a lot of our focus, our time and energy goes into, is into the actual business that we're doing outside of our relationships. And I don't know about you all, but I know when when I am not aligned with what I'm doing, it drains me. But you know what? I have to talk to Miss Sheree Wright, because she is an amazing nurse practitioner with over 20 years of health and nutrition in the industry. She is all about living healthier, living, understanding the foods that are putting in your body, and most importantly, what you are putting in your mind, body, and soul overall, and how it does relate to your overall wellness, your stress levels, and everything in between. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce my dear friend, Miss Sheree Wright.
Good morning, Camille. It's such a pleasure to be here, and thank you so much for having me. And I have to say, well, first of all, let me do a correction. I am not a nurse practitioner, guys. I am an RN. I do have my MBA. So the majority of my career has been in healthcare, sales, and marketing. And I just love this topic that you brought up this morning, Camille, because there are so many women out there like us that they hate their job. They're not in alignment with where they should be, but they don't know how to transition and how to make that next step into whether it be an entrepreneur or how to just do something different. Because face it, Camille, not all of us are cut out to be an entrepreneur, right? It
Absolutely.
takes a mindset. And I'm telling you, I never thought that at this stage in my life, in my career, that I would even go that entrepreneur route, because I used to look at it and I'm like, oh no, that's not for me. I'm happy with what I'm doing. Not necessarily happy, but the money was good. And it takes a lot because it's a lot of discipline, dedication, personal growth,
Mhm.
that mindset. And I have to tell you, we all struggle. I don't know about you, but I know it's a daily struggle working on this, because the mind body connection is so powerful and it's so real. And like what you're saying, when we're not in alignment, it drains you. You get anxiety attacks. I mean, there are days, Camille, I would sit at my regular 9 to 5 job and I would look and I would just be in a zone because I'm like, dear Lord, what am I doing? I have more to offer. And how many of you out there feel the same, but you're afraid?
Mhm.
Fear can keep you grounded. You're afraid to take that leap. And I'm telling you, once you take that leap and you work on your mindset and that personal growth, you're invested in yourself and not someone else, not a corporation, you're going to see how well you're going to flourish. And I am still in the baby stages where I'm like a bird, I'm learning to flap my wings, but I know it's a matter of time before I start to fly. And you just have to believe in yourself. You have to look at yourself in the mirror every day and say, girl, you got this. You got this. And so that's where I am right now. And I'm just happy to be here, Camille, to do this discussion, as you said, because so many of us need that encouragement and to see others who are taking the risk and others that look like us. We're taking the risk to do it.
It's huge. And I have to just applaud you, Sheree, because as you say that you're in the baby stages of the transition, the biggest part that I love is the fact that the first thing that we discussed about this transition is where our mindset has to be. And I find that exactly what you said is one of the hardest things because it takes us being that self-aware, understanding these feelings of stress or that anxiety, that panic, and understanding that this is an emotion that you no longer want. And that's through that self-awareness. So just the fact that you even brought up the mindset, because you are right, the body keeps a score and it starts up here. So I love that you talked about that initially, and I applaud you for having that self-awareness to take these actions. So I have a question for you, and I could relate to absolutely everything you have said. We were raised to, go to school, get a great education, and be career, and then on top of that, we're women, and we are Black women on top of that. So we were always told. I don't know about you, but I know myself. I was always said, "Hey, I gotta be one step ahead in my books or in my career to get to that next level." But it was through me going through those transitions that I realized that I need that flexibility. So how about yourself? What was it that made you decide or realize, have that self-awareness of, I once enjoyed what I did, but it's now no longer fulfilling me. So, and then continue on. I would love to know that, because what is it that just triggered yourself? Because that is, you're right, the limiting beliefs do hold us, but what was it that said, not today for you?
You know what? That is such a good question. So I'm a mom like you are, and more importantly, I'm a dog mom too.
Yeah.
So I have a little for those of you that want to know, I do have a 1-year-old Bichon poodle, and he's super cute, super, super cute. So anyway, I'm a mom, a dog mom, and I'm somebody that loves to travel, Camille. And as I've made that transition into working from home, I took a step down in my career so I could be at home to make sure that I'm there for my daughter. And, those formative years, I leave indelible marks on her life and create just wonderful memories. And when I look and I'm like, wait a minute, I have 2 weeks vacation. And I'm sitting in front of a computer all day, which is so against my nature, in terms of looking at, spreadsheets and so on and so forth, meetings after meetings. And it's bringing no joy to me. And I know deep inside that I have more in me and I have more to give. And what is my passion? Because for a long time, I didn't know what my passion was. And there's so many of you out there. I know you're like, I have more in me, but what is it that I need to do? Because you know what, face it, I wasn't at this stage going to job hop, leave another job, get to another job just for the sake of getting a paycheck. And I want to be an example for my child, because you know what, I think for this generation, Camille, they're not going to take the path that we've taken. You go to school, you get a job, and I'm teaching her, listen, you've got to create an opportunity and a need for someone. Don't just be a consumer, be a creator. But what am I doing? Am I leading by example? No. So it's the idea of wanting to see the world and wanting my child to also see the world that said, no, I can't do this. I can't. And not only that, I'm a big advocate for health and wellness, and I try to live my life by those principles and to be an example. And so with that being said, I came across an opportunity that really resonated with me and it fueled my passion. And I was like, wait a minute, but I'm spending more time trying to learn and develop myself and fuel my passion versus me doing my W-2 because that's a fear we all have, right? Like you're used to that W-2 and as an entrepreneur, you things are like a roller coaster, right? It could be until you really find stability and you have that momentum going. So it's really stepping out on faith and saying, I'm tired of this. I'm made for more and I want that flexibility and freedom to go wherever, do wherever, and also more importantly, have the money to do it.
Yeah.
So that is the catalyst that kind of started this journey for me.
Mm.
And I wanted personal growth. I wanted to, for the first time in my life, invest in me, me,
How
me.
did that feel? How is it feeling investing in you?
You know what, girl? It has been a long time coming because, more importantly, as women, we tend to overgive. I don't know about you, but I'm a giver. I'm such a giver that I tend to neglect myself. And now I'm saying, wait a minute, wait a minute. What about me? I have to give to myself. And that's what I'm doing now is giving to myself, developing, pouring the love into me for the first time that wasn't there. And it's such a great feeling to know that I'm blossoming and
Oh,
I'm blossoming not just as a mom, because we do things to grow our kids, right? But what about us?
yeah.
What about us? We tend to neglect that. I'm getting back to self-care, which I've neglected for so long because I've been on that mommy working mode. And now I'm saying, wait a minute, no, this is important to me. I've got to take time for me. Reading, getting back to reading, as simple as that. Because when we're trying to work on this, ladies, we got to develop this. This is a muscle too. And we have to read, we have to grow, we have to be around like-minded people. I mean, what are your thoughts on that, Camille? What are you
Oh,
doing to help build your mindset muscles?
you know what I'm building? I love, oh my goodness, this is why we resonate. It's the energy and the vibration. And you know what I'm doing is I'm exercising that 3 pound muscle by putting myself into new spaces and places and environments that I once was intimidated of or didn't even know about. So I have really been putting myself, put yourself where you see yourself kind of places, even when the times where I used to feel, especially like in my industry with the training, fitness, I used to feel very intimidated given the fact that a lot of these trainers have been trainers for 10, 15, 20 years. And then here comes Camille. Here comes along Camille. And initially, I used to sit in the corner. I wouldn't even go to places. And then I start to say, how am I supposed to build this muscle up if I don't get in the arena? How am I supposed to jiggy jiggy with everybody if I'm not on the dance floor? Right? I have to be in the arena, and this is how I grow. This is how I learn. And that really was the biggest change transition for myself. But it came from the people that I started surrounding myself around that encouraged me, that pushed me, that had that accountability, that saw greater of what I desired for myself than just the bottom line, which a lot of people, which I don't know about you, but a lot of people first thing when they talk about a job or they tell somebody about a job, oh, how much does it pay? Or oh, that must cost. The first thing people start calculating is how much your salary is. But then when you tell people that you're going entrepreneur, they go, so the money, all the whole thoughts of the money comes into our mindset. But I now have developed through even being in my environment the power of having that community, just like you said, that like-minded individual, that common unity. It really does show me that I'm not alone. Like I could have sworn I was the only one that was a mother, a nurturer by nature, but I realized that this is us as women. We are Mother Nature. We just nurture, whether it be with children, our pets, our plants, our relationships. There's something about us women, the essence of a woman, that we know our strength, we know our power, but we're also having so quick to and happy to nurture that we tend to sometimes forget about us. And I love that you said that because I want to do this with you. When you think of the word I am, what is the first, tell me three things that you are. First, the three things that come to your mind.
You know, I, first of all, I am becoming my best self.
Mm,
Um, but when we talk about the first three things that come to mind about me, I am loyal,
mm,
I'm giving, kind, and caring. Yeah. And you know what? I used to say to myself, maybe if I was a little bit, maybe if I didn't care that much, I
mm.
wouldn't let things get to me. I wouldn't, because we as women, sometimes we get taken advantage of, right? For our niceness.
Yes,
And it was my father that said to me, but that's what makes you who you are. Don't let people change that.
that
And
uniqueness.
I'm here to say, for the first time, I'm embracing that. And I tell my daughter, you know what? It's okay to be kind. It's okay to be nice, even when people are being horrible and mean to you, because maybe they've never been shown the
Yeah.
right way, the kindness, the niceness. They've never had that. So they don't know how to deal with it. So I finally said, you know what? I'm just good. This is who I am. Yes, I'm happy, I'm kind, I'm nice, I love life.
I
But
love, no, sorry. I
for
just
a
want
long
to say, I love that you started with the emotions.
Yeah, I'm an emotional person, but for a long time, guess what? I would bury that. I'd be
Yeah.
like, oh no, that doesn't. But deep down, I am. I'm a little sentimental too, and I cry a lot. Okay, that's me, you
Yeah.
know.
Me
I
too.
get emotional. But going back to the whole entrepreneurism, we can't let our emotions, especially as women, rule us, right?
Yeah.
We still have to be guided by our intuition when something doesn't feel right, but we have to remove, and I'm learning to remove a lot of the emotions out of things and don't attach your feelings
Yeah.
so much because it could be a major letdown. And we have to be resilient because you have to bounce back when things aren't going well or when somebody says no and you hear no, 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 no. Like, do you stay down? No, you got to pick yourself up and keep going. So that's who I am. And
I love it. I
yeah,
love it. And you know what? I love that you started with the emotions for a few things because a lot of people, it's actually an activity because a lot of people would be like, I am strong, I am a mom, I am a sister. But the one thing that they'll forget is the first thing that they are is themselves. So I am Camille. But even talking through your emotions is expressing who you are. Because a lot of times we give ourselves a labels of mom, sister, friend, and everything else that we forgetting that the biggest label that we need to give ourselves is exactly through our emotions and understanding our emotions to better navigate and guide through various situations, right? So I always look at it as a GPS, just like you said, our intuition. And when we are in business, and the thing going back to the 9 to 5 to entrepreneurship, and the reason why we're talking about the mindset so much, and again, this is why, dear Camille, this is wellness, is because we have from a young age have been programmed to feel that this is the way and this is the label of success. But now when I hear and I'm going through this thing called life, and I'm even hearing your experiences, Sheree, I wrote them down. For me, I hear through your mindset and through your drive of everything that you're desiring, that you're doing, is you're building endless time, limitless time for you to travel with your daughter, to experience the world, to have that flexibility. And through coming out of your comfort zone, you are becoming that example to your daughter of the amazing growth that is continuous, whether it be at 10, 11, or at our later parts and stages. Our future generation is seeing what we are capable of doing and also being able to encourage them in their new element, in their new realm. Because exactly what you said, our kids are definitely, because of technology, are going to be going through different paths. It's just like when the car was introduced versus the horse and carriage. We go through these transitions in history, but it's great that we're able to now see it within ourselves and be that example for the children. So I loved that, and I'm just so proud of who you are becoming. And I love the fact that, you're RN, and that you've really engulfed not only the health of the body, but the health of the inner. And that's powerful. And that is so powerful. And I'm loving the fact that I'm gonna just segue into what one of your business that what you're transitioning into. So this
You see, that puts a smile on my face.
you know what? We're not gonna get to detail because let me tell you something. We're gonna be coming back, and I'm gonna be doing a live with exactly what Miss Sheree's business is all about. And when I tell you, you're gonna see a whole different face on her when she talks about it because she just exudes like exhausts light. What's that word? You know what I mean? Whenever you talk about your business, you just light up the room, get in so much detail. And I want everyone to really understand the power of aligning your mindset with your health and ensuring that what you're putting in your body, mind, body, soul, and health wise, it is aligning with your own, exactly what you said, your own needs or your own body. That's powerful. So just tell us a little bit about your new venture coming
Well,
soon.
Camille, that puts a smile on my face and it lights up my soul because I finally found something that really speaks to me. And, we talk about the mind body connection, but, we don't really know what's going on in our bodies. And face it, there's a lot of people that they don't go and get their physical every year, right? Only when it's broken, they go to
That
try to
part.
fix it, right? So I'm all about prevention because I want to be there for a long time for my daughter, whenever she has kids, my grandkids, if God is willing to keep me around that long. Because this I am a little older than I look, but
Surprise. I was late floored.
but I'm trying to take care of it and preserve and prevent. So when we talk about the kit that you just showed, this is a great way for people to kind of assess their nutritional level and their cellular membrane fluidity. Yes, those are big words, right? But really, what's going on a cellular level when we talk about inflammation, when we talk about, the essential fatty acids that are essential to our body's functioning and our brain and everything. So this will give you a full-on assessment of what's going on. You can do this in the comfort of your own, which is, when we look at the trends in healthcare and so on, and I think that really started like, even when we look at the blood glucose, right? Like you're able to test
Yeah.
yourself at home. And we look at more self-tests coming on the market so people can have their pulse on their health right at their fingertips and at home, because not everybody likes to go to the doctor or interface. And I'm not an advocate for saying do not go to the doctor. Yes, we all should. We should all get our preventative checkup and things, but there are people out there that only do it when something is broken. And
Most
I want
people,
to change that. Yeah, I want to change that mindset. Prevent, prevent, prevent. Let's stay on top of our health and wellness and help and find out what's going on in our bodies. And, how do we make the engine run smoother? And that is all linked to how we eat. So, as you
I
said,
love
to be
it.
continued.
Yeah, it's going to be continued. Reason why I'm like super hyped about this and why I'm going to be the guinea pig because I need to know what's going on too is I always say to people, wellness is greater than fitness and nutrition. So many of us will be going and doing a program and following it to its T, but then not getting the results and then saying, "Oh, the program's broken or I'm broken." When in actuality, there's going to be things going on internally that's preventing you from getting those results. And because we are not made the same, we are all individuals. It is great for us to better have get a deeper understanding of what's going on internally, so we can better align ourselves to what supplements we need, or the omegas, as well as what we type of nutrition that we should be taking. So I'm excited for learning more about what's going on internally because I am ready to. I'm all about putting the external and internal together. And I'm intrigued. Reason why we're going to do this live is because I know a lot of people are like, okay, so then what do we do? This is why we are doing it for you. So you have to stay tuned. Make sure to stay tuned with us. We're going to be coming back possibly I think about next week. I'm going to put it on
Okay, next week.
next week. 1 week from today, And the next Wellness Wednesday, we are going to be going through and doing this test. I'm super excited. Let's do this. And I am also just excited for you, Sheree, because the amount of self-awareness that you have developed. I love the fact that you have really grown with not only your own self, but through your own passion, right? Because when I say your own self, we talk about, the developing of the mindset, but you're actually taking the actions, which is the steps towards your overall limitless life. Being able, well, I'm the same way. You want to be able to travel and still be able to, have those options without the finances ever in that realm, mixed in with having those experiences and memories. And now that we are being able to align our health, we are not only going to be talking about past memories, we're going to continuously build memories through longevity. That's what I love about everything that we do about wellness. Is I'm about to stay here longer. I don't know about you, but I have a lot more in me.
Camille, I just want to say it's been such a pleasure just conversating with you and just being able to enjoy each other and talk about how we're growing and becoming and transitioning. And it's so important to have women like you in my life that are encouraging, that we all need that one or two or that community that will lift each other up, because as women sometimes it could be a little catty and competitive, right? And there's room for everybody.
Yeah.
And I always say, if we lead with love, then the sky is limitless, right? But when we are like this, trying to pull each other down, let's uplift each other and let's support and collaborate. And that's what it's all about. That's what gives me joy. And when I say like-minded women, it's all about, hey, let's lift each other up, because we are all capable. And sometimes we just need that one person to say, hey, listen, you got this. You can do it, to push you. And then you fly like a bird. But sometimes we need that. We're humans. We all need encouragement too. So I just love it. And I just want to say thank you so much for your support and for having me here today, Camille.
Well, I receive that so very much. I appreciate it so very much, because for me, supporting other women is a form of wellness for me. I get a high off of it. I truly, genuinely want to see us all win. It's not about whose pocket is heavier than the other. I truly, wholeheartedly, eye to eye, enjoy and love seeing you fly. And then when you fly, I fly. We all fly, right? So the way how I put the mask on me, I say put yourself first and then help others. How I put myself first is just being present and learning and growing with each other. So I appreciate you. I appreciate learning from you. I appreciate even going even further with my health. And what I greatly appreciate is just seeing, in the short period of time that I've known you, already seeing growth within. And again, it's a high for me. So I thank you for being you, so that.
Okay,
However,
we're gonna thank each other.
yeah.
It's a love fest going
Then we're
on.
gonna be like Snoop Doggy Dogg. First of all, I like to thank myself. But it has been absolutely wonderful. And I love having these raw conversations about that, because there's somebody that needed to hear this conversation today. Somebody that just needed that one little push, that one little support to say, hey, I got this. I know that the road is not going to be smooth, but that road that is ahead of me is one that I get to make myself. And along the way, there's going to be pit stops of people going, yes, you can have that water out as you're running along your own journey. And this is what having this great community and having great conversations is all about. So thank you, Sheree, again for coming on here. And we will be back to really get an inner look on your business and make sure that other people can also take advantage of it. Coming soon.
Thank you, Camille.
You're welcome.
Take care.